Good morning. When I saw this story, I didn't believe it. It's true, I did not believe this story. It turns out to be true, so I want to tell you about it. It's almost a year old, and it's from Canada. So here it is. It's a bit tough for me because it's so ridiculous, right? And I don't get used to it, maybe. I don't. How stupid things are today. Right, anyway, so this is Canada, Ontario. There was this guy, he wanted a vagina. He wanted surgery. But he wanted to keep the dick, so he wanted both. Yeah, I want the dick, I want my dick, but I want a vagina too. And I want society to pay for the surgery. Right. And first they said no. But now this court in Ontario said, yeah, of course, we will pay for this. Taxpayers, we will all chip in and pay for your surgery. So you can keep your dick, but of course you should have a vagina too. So that was the decision. You know, sometimes you hear people say, back then, 100 years ago, people were so stupid. No, I don't think so. How stupid things are now, it's just unbelievable. Right? So you people, you taxpayers in Canada, you chip in to pay for his vagina. But he wants to keep the dick, and yeah, there you go. Wow. I think people are more stupid today. Now, I thought about stupid people. I think when they are stupid, they sort of hide. When there's an emergency, there's a situation, they sort of move away. So that they don't show how stupid they are. I think so. When things are normal and safe, they move around, they go to a cafe, they talk to people, talk about the weather or something, right? But then when there is a situation and they need to do something about it, they sort of move towards the walls, right? Sort of disappear. So it may seem that they are perfectly okay. And then when things get really tough, maybe they will be gone altogether, right? You will not see them. They open a door and move into a room, walk into a room, and they just disappear for a while. And then when the emergency is over, they come out. And you ask them, so what were you doing in that room? Well, I was doing some stuff, you see. I read a book. People want to be smart, of course, see. But something happened with COVID, didn't it? Because then we had this situation and people had to deal with it. They had to make a decision. And they felt safe, I think. They were sitting there in the open and said, yeah, I know, I got this, you see. They were sitting there in the cafe, having a coffee, talking about the vaccine. They said, of course, I'm going to take it. And then they were upset about those who didn't take it and so on, right? They were out there in the open. You could hear them, see. They even published their injections on social media. They were bragging about it, right? It was all fine, see? And now, when people start to understand that it wasn't, it was a real situation, and that they made a big mistake, we know now. We know about these people now, don't we? How they will react in the tough situation, this is what they will do. Right? They took this experimental injection. They knew nothing about it. And it's really, really stupid. Now, here's a question. Do you tell them? You tell them that they were stupid. Now, people will be upset. They will be offended, of course. It's different when a guy, like I have been called stupid many, many, many times. Happened the other day. I was talking to this guy and I said, no, I don't believe that the earth is flat. See, I don't believe it. Actually, I'm certain it's not. See, and the guy called me stupid, right? And it happens. But when it happens to me, I think it's funny. See, but it's different with people who are really stupid. I think so, because they will be offended. Their egos will be hurt. And they will spend rest of eternity trying to prove that they are smart. See? I think so. So that's my question. Do you tell them that they are stupid, that they were stupid? I believe you should. I do it. Okay. So they get offended. But they need to hear it. It was so obvious, right? Or they will never learn, They will do the same thing when the next crisis comes. So I try to be polite about it, telling them that they are stupid. Like asking questions. I think that's a bit better. I can ask them, so are you happy with your decision to take the injection? Are you happy with it now? Are you proud that you told your kids to take it? Maybe forced them to take it? Are you proud of this thing? I'll try to be a bit polite. Right. Be good.